WEZC. WHOW. Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. A couple of guests in studio with us today. Troy Lashbrook from the Kenny Fire Department. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning.
Swing that mic around so we can hear you a little better. Thank you. And Michelle Trunnell with Impact Life. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning. And again, pull that mic closer to you. I should have told you guys to do that earlier, so there we go. Thank you, guys. And Troy, I can't believe it, but it is already time to start thinking about the Kenny Good Friday Blood Drive.
Yes, it is. We've been in the planning mode since roughly mid-January. It's on Good Friday every year. This year it's on Friday, April 18th. From 11:15 to 6:30 p.m.
All right, so put it on the calendar, April 18th. And just give us a reminder, the Good Friday Blood Drive, what is it? What's it all about? How did this event get started? How about some of those things?
The event got started by Fritz Robinson. It was his idea that he wanted to do a blood drive about 9 years ago. Mm-hmm. Thought it was a good idea, jumped on board. It's grown every year to a point where we're one of the largest downstate blood drives in the state of Illinois, thanks to the community. Mm-hmm. And as Fritz would say, to coin him, what better day than to come give?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Very good.
You know, another phrase from another one of our members, KC, small town people helping small town people. Mm-hmm. And it's just a great event. I put a lot. We all put a lot of work into this. It's a good thing for the community.
Yeah, and really, one has become just something that a lot of people just put on their calendars, and they're getting signed up year after year. Speak to the growth and the popularity of your blood drive.
Yeah, like I said, the community is just great to deal with. We don't barrage them, every 56 days. It's once a year. Mm-hmm. Come help us out.
Yeah, sure. So put it on the calendar. Are you taking sign-ups now? Are there times still available?
Oh, yeah. We got all kinds of times still available. There's multiple ways you can do that. You can go right through the Impact Life website. Mm-hmm. You can contact myself, KC, Fritz, Brian Robinson. There's posters all over town. Clinton, Kenny, Chestnut. We pretty much blanket the whole area with posters. There's a QR code you can scan. Mm-hmm. You'll start seeing notifications on all the digital signs here in Clinton.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just my proximity to the event, but I feel like if you don't know about it by now, I don't know where you've been unless you're new to the community or something like that.
We have had people come as far as eastern Tennessee.
Wow.
Wow. Had a family from Arizona one time. Mm-hmm. They just happened to be in the area and seen it. Stopped in.
Wow. Can you do that? Like if you
Yes.
book the place up, can you still swing in and do that?
Absolutely. You can walk in. Now, just on a personal note there, if somebody has taken time to make an appointment, if you walk in and we're busy at that time, you may have to wait a little bit. Mm-hmm. But we try and take the people that take the appointments, take the time to make the appointments. Mm-hmm. Make sure that they keep moving.
Yeah, sure. Now, I know within the last couple of years, you've partnered with Impact Life. Tell us about that partnership.
It's been a great partnership for us. Rumor has it they tried to get our blood drive a few years before we actually switched to Impact Life. Mm-hmm. The amount of, how do I say this? The manpower and the resources that they have thrown at us has just been amazing to help continue to make this thing grow.
Sure. Well, Michelle Trunnell with Impact Life is with us. And Michelle, again, thanks for making time. Tell us about Impact Life and what your organization does.
Sure. So Impact Life, we are the blood center in the area. Mm-hmm. We provide all the blood products to our local hospitals. So throughout Decatur, Springfield, Urbana, Peoria, Bloomington, Normal, we're all over. Mm-hmm. We're throughout 4 states, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Missouri, and we do serve over 120 hospitals.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about just the partnership with the Kenny Fire Department, and what that's been like to work with them, and just the, amount of people they bring in for this blood drive. How about that?
Yeah, this blood drive that they hold is quite amazing. It is on Good Friday, so Easter weekend. We do see a big decrease in donor on holidays, holiday weeks. So this is a really huge part of what they do. They're so proactive. They ask everybody they see to donate. They spread the word. They're amazing to work with. I don't think we could ask for a better group to hold such a huge drive in such a small town.
Yeah, and one thing I know about previous blood drives is just the fact you talked about the manpower that goes into it, but just the amount of people that come out and the blood that is donated staying local. I know that's been a huge piece of big part of Impact Life's message to folks. Speak to that a little further.
Yeah, so we do focus more on the local level. And it's kind of inspiring when you're in a smaller towns. I've grown up around here, and it's nice to know that you might be helping your neighbor or somebody versus it being sent off to maybe, Chicago, California, wherever else it may go. It's going to one of our local hospitals here.
Sure. The need for blood, I hear, is very great. Even still, speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so we're always looking for, of course, donors, setting up more blood drives. O negative is universal donor, so that is always in need, and it is in high need right now. We are low on that, and then we're also in need of B positive and O positive, and of course O positive is the most common. So we're
always in need of that
always
too.
in need. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm curious, and I don't know how long you've been around the blood drive world, but it just feels like that's been the message the last 5-8 years maybe. It's just like shortages of blood. What's happened there that there's so much need, but there's also a shortage of maybe donors and such? How about that?
So about 62% of the population is eligible to donate. However, only 3% actually donate. And so when there's a lot of big needs, we're a part of the Blood Emergency Corp Readiness, and that's where we'll Impact Life is on call like every third week. We alternate. And if there is a big, unfortunate event, such as like on New Year's Day this year in New Orleans, the fires, we had a Southern California hospital reach out to us.
Wow.
And it's just asking for that extra blood donation. If we have that, we want to always be stocked to serve our local hospitals first, and then to be able to also help and be backup. In those events that are needed.
Are agencies like Impact Life in that situation where, like you said, you get a call from California and they need your supply? Are you able to help them right now?
I mean, it would probably depend on where we were at with everything and what if we were on call that week. But that is our goal, to always be able to help when needed, locally and further out if possible.
Sure. So when it comes to the blood donation process, what does that look like for someone that may come out for, maybe for the first time on Good Friday to Kenny? What does that process look like?
So they would come out. They have an appointment. Wonderful. If not, we'll take walk-ins. Like Troy said, they might have to wait a few to make sure we get the appointments through. But you come in and we get you all registered and in our system. You need your photo ID. Very important to bring that, especially if you're a first-time donor with Impact Life. And then we'll get you registered and in the system. The next step is a medical questionnaire. You can just bring your phone. We have a QR code. Answer your questions real easily there. And once that's complete, you go on to our like a little mini physical, making sure you're good to go for the day.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you're healthy to donate that day. So checking blood pressure, iron, all that good stuff.
Yeah, the mini physical has been a point of discussion with our visits past. Speak to that a little bit. What goes on in that process that it's such a valuable source of information for a person?
Yeah. So another item, you got to be at least 110 pounds and feel good on that day. But there have been, and I think maybe Troy could speak a little bit to this. There has been people who went through that process and. If they are not feeling well, maybe they're nervous, so their blood pressure's high, or maybe they have low iron, then we're not going to send them on to donate that day. We want to make sure everybody's always safe to donate and to go through the whole process.
Sure.
There have been I don't know if Troy, you want to speak to it. People who have actually found out they need to go get something checked out.
Correct. Usually it's a high blood pressure issue. We actually had one person a few years ago found out they were actually on the wrong medication.
Oh, wow.
Because of that mini physical.
Yeah, wow. Interesting. So valuable information that comes out of that process. Again, that's Troy Lashbrook with the Kenny Fire Department, Michelle Trunnell with Impact Life, of course, partnering for their annual Good Friday Blood Drive, which is April 18th. So, Michelle, when it comes to, you talk about just the Impact Life keeping things local, where are some communities that Impact Life partners with in Central Illinois?
Are you asking like where are other blood?
Like whether it's hospitals, whether it's
Sure.
individual communities. Sorry, I should have worded that
No,
better.
that's okay.
My
I
apologies.
just wasn't sure if you want to know where our donor centers were. Yeah, so we partner with really majority of the hospitals around here. So Bloomington Normal, OSF, Carl Broman. We have the hospitals over in Peoria, in Decatur. We have DMH, St. Mary's. And then same in Urbana, all of our local surrounding communities. And we do have donor centers in each of those areas except Bloomington Normal.
Okay.
We really depend on our mobile blood drives there. But other than that, we partner with all of the close hospitals.
Yeah, what's a donor center?
So our donor center is a place where people can come and just walk in and they can schedule their appointments there to give blood, platelets,
Okay.
plasma.
At any
etc.
time or like certain hours
Yes,
of the day?
Yes, so
basically?
every center has some different business hours. But like in Decatur, we're open Wednesdays from 10:30 to 6:30 and on Fridays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Do those stay pretty busy?
They do.
Do they really?
They do,
Nice, nice. Yeah. So in terms of giving blood, how often can an individual give blood? Like, let's say someone recently did a drive in the fall. Are they eligible to come back now in the spring and do another one?
Yes, so if they give whole blood, which is like 1 unit or pint, people will recognize that, is every 56 days. And then if they give a double red, it's 112 days.
Okay, gotcha. So
If you wanted to come donate it at our drive, the last day that you could have donated is February 21st.
Oh, really? Okay, gotcha. So, yeah, keep that in mind. And so, Michelle, you talked about the process of having that questionnaire filled out ahead of the donation. Speak to that a little bit. What does that process look like? And when do you need to have that filled out? I know, like, you can't do it the day before. You have to do it day of type of stuff. How about those things?
Right. So a lot of donors who have donated with Impact Life before should receive an email that has the start of we call it the early queue. But you have to complete that the same day as your appointment. So anytime after midnight of your appointment, and there is a QR code that you can screenshot or keep with you. Otherwise, you can do it there on site.
Gotcha. How, Troy or Michelle, it doesn't matter. How long of a process is this? What's
From
like
start to finish, if you're doing a whole blood, figure about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're doing the double, maybe an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Takes a little longer because they actually pull the blood out, do whatever they have to do, and then they put fluids back in, and it's a two-step process.
Yeah, and I've done that before, and the first time I did it, it was a little different of an experience. So yeah, if you're doing that for the first time, plan on some kind of like different sensations in your arm is what we
feel the coolness of was it saline going back in?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's what it was. The coolness, like shooting into your arm. I was like, ooh, that's a little different. So still, I mean, it's not bad. It's just different. So, but very good. What did I miss? I know, Michelle, we're going to talk about a program that Impact Life is partnering with Kenny on this year, but what did I miss in terms of the giving blood process, the drive itself there, Troy? Anything I missed, guys, in that first segment here?
I mean, one thing I would just say, anybody who plans to donate that day, make sure you drink plenty of fluid the day before, water preferably. The day before, the morning of, make sure you eat before your appointment. And then we always have snacks, drinks, all of that good stuff.
And at Kenny Fire, we have really good snacks.
Yeah, there's really good snacks there.
So worth stopping now. Very good. Let's take a break here, guys. Come back with more Troy Lashbrook, Kenny Fire, Michelle Trunnell with Impact Life. The Good Friday Blood Drive at the Kenny Fire Department comes up April 18th. More to come with them on The Morning Show.
WHOW.
ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties continues its exclusive sponsorship of the WHOW Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, announced at the end of every Maroon sports broadcast. Our WHOW announcers will select that night's WHOW ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties Clinton Maroon Player of the Game. They'll be highlighted in each WHOW Maroon post-game broadcast and get a certificate from WHOW and ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties. Remember, ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties for fire and water restoration, reconstruction, and now duct cleaning to keep your air healthy. Click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
March is Red Cross Month, and as part of this special recognition, the Miller Media Group and local sponsors encourage you to turn out for one of these upcoming local Red Cross blood drives. Give a pint and save a life. Upcoming local Red Cross blood drives include March 27th at Warner Hospital and Health Services Clinton, March 27th at Monticello High School, and May 19th at the Knights of Columbus in Lincoln. This March Red Cross Month blood drive message is sponsored by Warner Hospital and Health Services at 422 West White Street in Clinton. Healthcare close to home.
WHOW is Central Illinois' ag station, and that includes providing farmers information on how the commodity markets close each day and week. I'm Todd Gleason from Illinois Public Media, University of Illinois Extension, inviting you to hear the daily closing market report weekday afternoons at 5:06, and on Saturdays tune in for Commodity Week with a review of the week's markets at 8:30 in the morning, all on WHOW AM, FM, and streamed online.
ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties for fire and water restoration, reconstruction, and now duct cleaning to keep your air healthy. Find out how they can help you by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Netflix buffering, YouTube spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. Ugh, it's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, in studio with us, Troy Lashbrook with the Kenny Fire Department, Michelle Trunnell with Impact Life, talking about the Kenny Fire Department's Good Friday blood drive on April 18th. Now, Michelle, I know new to kind of the drive this year is a giving back program. Good Giving, I think you said, is what it's called. Tell us about this. What's going on there?
Yes, so it is a great addition to our donor rewards program. When you go through a successful donation, giving blood, then you are eligible to receive a gift card. You can bank the points. You can get our promo item of the month. And we have a new program within that with Charity on Top for our Good Giving program. And that's where you can choose to donate to any nonprofit organization. And Kenny Fire Department this year has chosen the Neighborhood Care Center in Clinton, Illinois.
Nice.
And so we will actually have some small flyers on tables and at our canteen so people know how to donate their reward to the Neighborhood Care Center.
Gotcha. So when you come to give blood, and let's say you're not, maybe your first time to giving blood with Impact Life, or you're just first time giving blood in general, how do they get signed up for that program so they can give back to, whether it's Neighborhood Care Center, I don't know if you can find other nonprofits and maybe their home communities. How do they do that?
So they will actually receive an email within 48 hours. And then instruction from there on how to choose what reward they're going to decide on.
Okay.
And if they do decide on that, we're going to have their the Neighborhood Care Center's EIN, so it's going to be easily searchable for when they receive that email to put it there. Or, like you said, they can always search another. If they're from another community, they can search up that.
Okay.
And donate wherever they'd like.
Gotcha. Any ballpark estimate how many nonprofits you've partnered with in Central Illinois?
You know, this is a very new program. It just started in February of this year. But I know we've there's been a lot of local food banks in other areas that we've been able to give some
Cool.
decent sized checks to.
Awesome. And you said you'll be able to learn more about that at the blood drive itself.
Yes.
Nice. Cool. If they are not coming to the blood drive just because of whether scheduling or whatever else, but they've given through Impact Life, how do they learn more about that program, Michelle?
They can really go to our website. It's just bloodcenter.org, and all of our resources are, are on there for donor rewards.
All right, easy enough. Very good. Well, let's talk briefly, friends, and talk about just Troy. We talked about the success of this blood drive, how much it's grown over the years. What's a good year in terms of whether it's donations, people, participation? What's a good year for this event?
My goal has always been, I want the largest downstate blood drive in the state of Illinois in a town of 300 people. I just think that's an amazing thing that we can accomplish in the little town of Kenny, Illinois. Anytime we can break that triple-digit number of 100 for received donations, that's a good year. When we first started, our first year was 35. We've been bumping that 140 to 150 units for the last few years.
Nice. Very good. So, Michelle, again, what's a good year out of this blood drive for Impact Life? And, how long have you been doing this with them, by the way? Is this second year, third year?
This is my second blood drive with Kenny.
Gotcha.
Third year with
Yeah.
Impact Life.
So how many units did we get out of this event last year? Do you remember?
There was about 140.
Is that a good number?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, the number of people that come through, 140 is amazing.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. Well, Troy, I've got about 40, 50 seconds, give or take. The Daytona fundraiser. How about that event? How did it go?
Can't thank the Clinton Eagles and the crew that puts all that together enough. They raised another $39,000 for the local fire departments this year. That's just amazing. I can't thank them enough.
Very good. So that was back in February.
Yep.
Week after the Super Bowl. Very good. Glad you got a good turnout and another banner year. It sounds like for that one. Awesome. One more time. The Kenny Blood Drive. The when, the where. How folks get information.
It's at the Kenny Fire Department, Friday, April 18th, 11:15 to 6:30 p.m. You can get a hold of Fritz, myself, KC, or Brian Robinson. Like I said, the flyers are all over town. So,
on social media?
Yep, we have it on social media as well.
Very good. Troy Lashbrook and Michelle Trunnell talking about the Good Friday Blood Drive at the Kenny Fire Department. Network News is now.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. While insisting the Trump